to start
Yeah.
with what's the woman name? Jodie.
Foster.
No, it's not Foster. It's the politician. We hadn't planned on it. It just kind of crossed my mind while we're sitting here. Where
What's
the
that?
one that's the one where she's Democrat representative, and apparently she is sexually what's the word I'm looking for? Open is the wrong word.
Polyamorous.
No, I don't like that word. I hate that word. I mean, that word is fine, polyamorous, but I guess I'm looking at in the sense of a sexuality that is active, one to which I actually approve of, greatly so. I think we do ourselves a disservice in the way that we push love or sex as opposed to issues of war. You can go to a movie. I can see John Wick kill like 100 people in that movie. Perfectly okay. He can kill them in all sorts of ways. He can stab stuff in their eyes. He can crush their throat. And we
You're
leave
talking
that
about how we view violence versus how
sex.
we view
Right.
sexuality. and
Especially in the context of women. Especially in the context of women. Captain Kirk could mac a green woman on camera. He can kiss a black woman on camera. But if you notice, they never show Captain Kirk just going, they never show that. That part, for some reason,
Thankfully.
is off the table. And if that was shown, that would be a porn. Two separate tracks in the way that we view sex versus violence and everything else. Meaning everything else is permitted except for sex. Now, this is not necessarily a rah-rah, I want Captain Kirk, seeing Captain Kirk fucking the green woman. That's not that. It's mostly just looking at it and saying, that's weird. That's so bizarre. And I look at her and I say, fair game. Now, the catch here, well, because she apparently was in a 3-party relationship with a woman who worked with her, who was her aide. Now, the catch, or staffer. Now, the relationship started before she became a staffer. Now, so a bit of cronyism, but whatever. People hire people all the time. The relationship started. Apparently, the relationship was going for a while. Consensual. Nobody was forced. Nobody was pushed. There wasn't anything of position of, if you don't, be in my relationship with my husband.
No, it was all consensual.
All consensual.
She was married, and they
married.
were bringing a third party. The husband and the wife made a conscious effort to try to bring other individuals into their bed.
Yes.
And they brought this young lady in.
Again, I look at that and say, hashtag
That's fine.
fair game. Not just hashtag fair game, hashtag good for you. Now, I say that to say, we have certain cultural traditions that we get stuck in. And when we get stuck in those cultural traditions, like, even though your environment, society changes. Like, marriage makes total sense in the world. Don't misunderstand me. To a degree. I mean, ultimately, you are thrust into a reality frame. But you are. I mean, you didn't choose your parents on a corporeal level.
I thought you meant like when you get married.
No. I didn't mean that. I meant
that's important.
from a corporeal level. Just from us being people. You are thrust into a society that you don't choose, a time frame that you don't choose, parents that you don't choose, family that you don't choose. You can have family that rapes you as you grow up. You can have a family that is kind of like Biden, where you can be a crackhead and still get this awesome job in Ukraine. You don't choose. And all of those things work on who you are as a person. Meaning, even this notion of choice becomes such a dodgy thing because none of those things are factors that you choose.
I understand. So what you're saying is that we come into this life with certain
there are
social...
Yes, because of the people who are around your society, right? It gets cultural traditions. Now, I applaud people when they break that. And they say, this shit isn't real. And my husband here is like, hey, you okay with me bringing another woman in? So, okay, fair game. Now, his issue was, well, she also cheated on me in a way that I didn't know. Meaning, yes, we can bring people in.
But it has to be agreed upon kind
of
thing.
Women. We can bring women in.
Well, we don't know if it was just women because they said that he put an ad out that said, "Do you want to F my wife?"
Yeah.
Now that
you're right.
A man.
You're right.
So maybe they were bringing in men or women, but whatever it was, they had consensual relationship. But then somewhere along the way, she went outside of what they had as an understanding,
and he cheated on him.
And was involved with someone else without the husband's knowledge.
Interesting thing here is, how the hell do you pull that off in politics? Some random Joe Schmo, some just nobody who's working at a Starbucks. Nobody gives a shit about him. He can do anything he wants.
How do you pull off...
How do you do that in the public light? Like, how do you pull that off in the public light? Now, I look at this and I say, good for her. I applaud her. I would even go vote for her because of that. But the public doesn't do that. The public sex shames.
They shame her.
They shame her.
Because it's against the norm, and it's not what we've grown up as societal norms, and so it's
they have naked pictures. Yeah, they have naked pictures of her taking bong shots. They have her like brushing the girl's hair. They have another one that said, "Do you want to fuck my wife?" Where her laying there with her ass up, like some out there videos. And somebody said to me, "It's like, dude, she could be a beautiful human being, but she still broke the rules or ethics rules." And that's the sticking point. That's a different
story.
Different, right? Because my thing isn't like you can have a conversation and you can say, "All right, how can we prove that she broke these rules without showing those pictures?"
Yeah.
And the fact of the matter is, they show those pictures. I need
to see it to know that she did something unethical.
Exactly. Whatever is taking place on a governmental level is different than what is taking place on a media level. A media level, clicks, eyes, every capitalistic impulse in the world is to show those pictures. It's to say, hey, look at this. Because, again, we would show naked women on beer cans in order to sell beer because men like naked women and they would associate it with the beer as a positive thing.
But you want to show somebody shooting somebody on the face for some kind of advertisement.
You show that. I guess my point is they know sex sells. And they know a tarnished congressman, an attractive one, who's having a threesome sells. They're doing it purely for exploitive fashion, not because of any kind of real thing. I guess that's the point that they'll make it. On a congressional level, yeah, they're going to say, okay, you broke our ethics rules. Okay, fair enough.
That's fine. I don't need to see the pictures of her vagina and the bong shots and the ads that were placed to know that. Yeah. I just,
Yeah, she broke the ethics rules. Yeah. But the other stuff is not the same. Yeah. Wait, I guess what I'm asking is, what do you think about that? I mean, like, Crystal Ball.
What's her name?
I can't remember exactly her name. I need to find her thing.
Can somebody tell us her name? And if you didn't know that when I'm looking down, I'm actually reading you all's comments. So I'm not just zoning out.
I asked Crystal Ball to be on the show. Now, I did this with a certain degree
Katie Hill.
Katie Hill, that's her name.
You said Jody somebody.
I don't know where Jody came from. Jody, Katie. The IE. It's the IE sound.
Okay.
No, that's the IE sound.
Thank you, Shyster.
I asked Crystal Ball to come on the show because I thought she would have a really unique perspective on the sex shaming thing. If you remember, she had her campaign. Her campaign, it was a difficult campaign, apparently where she was. But she had videos where she was at a Christmas party being a young, attractive woman at a Christmas party.
So, you asked me what I think about it?
Yeah. Because I think it's, I think it's fucked up.
I think I should be able to do whatever I want to do in my bedroom. It doesn't affect my job. I mean, unless if I'm not hurt, okay, I should be able to do consensually whatever I want to do in my bedroom. As long as I'm not hurting anybody, I don't think it's anybody's business. It's not going to affect what I go into work and do the very next day.
And I wonder how a man will be treated in this. Don't misunderstand me. I know people, identity politics and everything else. The catch here is our society doesn't happen in a vacuum. And when it doesn't happen in a vacuum, you have people who have vestiges of the 70s, 80s, 90s, etc. And they look at the world in a particular way and they find out how to kilter. And others just look at it for, effects. Yes, you should be able to do whatever the hell you want. And yet society... What do you think they would do with a man on this? Now, I don't think they would show dick pics. But if they show him naked holding a bong...
Naked and holding a bong? That means it would be a dick pic.
No, they put the thing on his dick. In fact, on her picture, they put posties on her nipples. Even that I found weird. It's like, with a man, you wouldn't put posties on his nipples.
Well, this is kind of like, it reminds me of like the argument and the big thing about women breastfeeding in public.
They should be able to breastfeed in public. In fact, they shouldn't even have to have...
We had a conversation on this a couple months ago. It was hilarious.
I don't understand the argument that says women need to cover up in public. What is the argument? Honestly, and I don't say this as a guy who's like, oh yeah, I want to see some tits. I say this from the standpoint of...
That's disturbing.
It's a patriarchal society that says men can show their chest, but women need to be clothed and hidden. And I'm saying that's BS. I don't understand why a man can walk around with no shirt on. A woman
there are in our society clearly different standards.
But I think this deviation kind of goes into this thing with her. Oh no, I was fascinated by that story. I was like, wow, that's massively fucked up what they're doing to her. When I went to the radio show and I was talking to Eugene was like, oh god, yeah, that's fucked up. Now, it wasn't, again, not that she broke the ethics rules. It's like, if it was you and whatever you did in your bedroom, I don't know, everybody has their kinks, right? Some guys like to be tied up and beaten. Some guys, like the women to step on cockroaches. Some people like to be in fuzzy outfits.
You saw that cockroach thing one time, and
No, that is a real thing.
I know that. I guess what I'm saying is you saw that, and now like every opportunity
because it gets across. Because it gets across kinks.
The varying degrees that people, find.
They deviate from I'm just gonna be on top, and I'm just.
Are they
that stuff
dead?
I'm thinking of Christians having sex.
We're
just nothing else. Right, so it's like God only permits penis in vagina on top for 10 pumps. Can't get more than 10, otherwise you're going to hell.
So,
but I hope you get my point though. Like people have their various things that they deviate from. It's like, all right, I like the power deviation.
As it is being done consensually, more power to you.
But assume for the moment that gets blown up and put on the pages. And not just put on pages, conversations that you had with people you were in a relationship with.
I think that's your private business.
I know. I guess my point is, it's brutal. It's just brutal for this stuff to be out there like that. She is in the public light.
And there's not really any recovery from that. I imagine that it's difficult to recover from that.
I will say this. If she gets elected again, she's going to be there forever. For sure has gone through the fucking fire. Like, I know there's an embarrassment associated with just because of the way we look at sex. But oh my God, I couldn't believe they were printing that stuff. I mean, that's wrong. I could believe it, but it's like, oh God, that's fucked up. Yeah,